So, guys, welcome to another session of Nnamdi Kanu's trial case. And in case you don't know, in this channel, we bring you all updates concerning Nnamdi Kanu and his court trial. And you wouldn't believe what actually happened in the last sitting of Nnamdi Kanu in the Supreme Court. What actually happened in that court shocked many. And indeed, it shocked me because what happened, no one has ever seen this particular event before. What Justice J.Omotosho, the man you can see at the right top hand of your screen, did, everyone, including the journalists that were present in the courts, were surprised. And this left everyone in total questioning, asking and murmuring why this particular decision was made. Well, in this particular video, I'll be bringing you all evidence and I'll be showing you everything you need to know about what Justice J.Omotosho did. And without wasting much of your time, we'll be heading straight to business and straight to what he actually did. Now, for clarity's sake, I'll be...
the Kanu in DSS custody and probably move him to Kenya to do whatever they want to do. Because the British, we know their hands are not clean as regards Nnamdi Kanu. They've not come out to say anything as regards arrest. What's the take as regards?
I think these things are very clearly, that the reason why the Fulanis under Buhari went for Nnamdi Kanu is to make sure that these guys now does not raise their voice in any form. But unfortunately for them, fate have a way, of saving their life. Nnamdi Kanu's life was saved. Simon Ekpa's life was also saved, and they were not able to kill him in Kenya, So miraculously, Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned back to Nigeria, and it was exposed to the world, and the people who exposed this information were people who were with Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya, because they needed to keep Nnamdi Kanu somewhere in Kenya for 8 days to watch how people are going to react, whether anybody know what happened and all that. But the news went everywhere, and that was why they brought him back to Nigeria 8 days after, and it did not stop there. Buhari and his cohort, the Fulani, felt otherwise, that the only thing they needed to do is to keep Nnamdi Kanu in DSS custody so that they could not to carry out whatever agenda they want to carry out, and since they could not succeed, so they kept Nnamdi Kanu for years, 5 years plus now, without trial. What a wickedness! What a hatred! For years, the world are watching, because one day, what will be used against Nigeria by the superpowers, by the world leaders, will surprise as many as all these things that are happening now. It's been documented, so you can see now that it is becoming a public something. How the trial is going. The same Fulani now instructed Bola Ahmed Tinubu what to do. Then they decided to move him because there is pressure already. The Kenyan government has budgeted over $20 billion for that compensation because they contravene the Commonwealth law, the international law. And Nnamdi Kanu is going to seek for compensation. William Ruto has made several statements, that why is it that all of a sudden the Kenyan women are marrying our wives now? Nigerian Igbo people are marrying our Kenyan women now more. He made that statement. So what I'm saying at this point is that it becomes very clearly that they want to go from the back door and return Nnamdi Kanu, and that is one of the reasons why, because they have seen that Nnamdi Kanu have consistently, even the last court outing, you can see what transpired there. He won. So that kind of case being on the public space, create some level of sensitivity on the side of Omotosho to be able to give judgment, because people are watching. Not only you be judged now, there are other people too. So Nigerians are watching. But for them now to have decided, for the Fulani to have instructed Bola Ahmed Tinubu to move him for secret trial or whatever, there is allegations and there are reports everywhere that Nnamdi Kanu is already in Kenya, but is going to be returned in Kenya. The reason why he is not in court today, the reason why he is being sent to Kenya, and they are going to return him back in few days, and they are trying to do a kind of negotiation, get the Commonwealth nations involved on the matter. But it has gone beyond that. The lawyers are not losing sleep. The IPOB command is expanding all over the world, like you can see. The strength of IPOB is growing on a daily basis. The Biafran government in exile is doing exploits. You can see the recent Washington embassy. You know, you can see a lot of things. Yes, we agree. The freest nation in the world is trying the first European agitator to be tried in court, Simon Ekpa. The first African to be tried in European court for agitation of sovereignty. Breaking of record. So, that is a very clear thing now. But the Igbo leaders, the likes of Ojuzo Kalu, Benjamin, all these guys that are there now, we know the reason why they are there. They are not there on their own. They are just there cosmetically to look as if, you know, the Igbo system in the Nigeria has Igbo system in their blood or in their government. Igbo has been incorporated into the system. God, this guy does not represent the Igbo people. They represent the Fulani political conquest agenda, including the governors. And that is why I can tell you that Nnamdi Kanu has become law and order anytime, any day. And whatever Nnamdi Kanu says is final. Whether they're going to take him to Kenya, whether they're going to from Kenya take him to UK, that is their business. But I can tell you that in trying Nnamdi Kanu in the first place is criminality. There's no competent court of jurisdiction that can try Nnamdi Kanu. What we are seeing, the alliance of the Yorubas and the Northerners to handle this matter like this, after they went and brought J.Omotosho, who is a wicked ally. We know the controversial judgment they passed in Rivers State against the governor of Rivers State, now on suspension, Simi Fubara. The same thing they want to do on Nnamdi Kanu's case. But I can tell you, the people are watching. The Igbo people are watching. Either they want to use it as a negotiation, whatever, you want to keep Nnamdi Kanu there and go to whatever you are having with the North. That is your business. But we know, actually, that to an extent, some prominent international community organizations have told Nigeria their stand. And they are watching to see what is going to happen at the end of the day. The Indian government has sent delegates already. You know, the Canadian government has sent delegates already. The Israeli government has sent delegates already. The American government has sent delegates already. And you think those delegates, it does not matter anything to Nigeria. It does not make any sense. It's just ordinary delegates. You don't know that, you know, they are counting it for Nigeria. That one day, they will open book for Nigeria. And will tell you, so and so time, these are the steps we have taken, but you ignored us. But unfortunately, a certain president trying to be part of the Fulani agenda to destroy Biafra and Nnamdi Kanu will not stand.
Okay, but a lot of people have said, you know, the DSS, or sorry, the Nigeria court or J.Omotosho moving this, you know, continuous trial to the DSS custody. Do you not think, because they say they want to what? They want to, you know, probe the container that Nnamdi Kanu brought in, you know, from Britain, you know, back then 2017. Do you not think that some people are saying this government might even possibly, or the Fulanis might plant bomb in that container and put false allegation on Nnamdi Kanu? Do you see this?
Of course, Nigeria can never be trusted for anything. Nigeria cannot even trust their own leadership. Nigeria cannot even trust Nigeria. So where do we stand from? You know, so you can see that everything is heading towards balkanization, you know, of Nigeria. You know, a disintegration of Nigeria. Every Nigerian is working towards the disintegration, including the presidency, including the judiciary, including the INEC. All of them are working towards disintegration of Nigeria. So what makes Nnamdi Kanu's case different? Nnamdi Kanu's case cannot be different from the reality on ground. The military is working against Nigeria, disintegration. the police is working to make sure Nigeria disintegrate. The Fulanis are working. The politicians are doing the same thing. So what makes Nnamdi Kanu case different? So that is the suspicious that's been built around what we are talking about today. But what is transmitter in the first place? Can anybody just tell me what transmitter is? You know, transmitter, is it a radio? Is it a phone? Because a phone, it can also be a transmitter. I don't know what they mean by transmitter, that they, to an extent that they say because of transmitter they want to move the matter to DSS. No, it sounds ridiculous, honestly. On that note, if actually it is because of transmitter, anybody can open. How many minutes does it open to the smartest transmitter? You know, and transmitter for me is not a weapon. It's not an atomic energy, an atomic bomb. It's not a nuclear arsenal. Transmitter is a device like phone that can be used by anybody. So why are they now saying otherwise over the issue of transmitter? My brother, I don't think it is the transmitter that is the issue. It is the Fulani agenda that has refused to work. They are trying to see how it is going to work. But unfortunately, you know, that guy you are seeing there was once a scrap, but now he has become a machine. Nobody.
Okay, but what's your take as regards the Southeast? Because a lot of people have alluded to the fact that the Southeast politicians are the one encouraging the Fulanis and the Tinubu government not to release Nnamdi Kanu.
Yes.
While some are saying it's the Fulani that not the Southeast government.
I see. What, they have already planted the Southeast governors there. So the Southeast governors are already playing with the gallery. So they cannot say no. You know, if they say no, there will not be money for them. There will not be political position for them. They will not go to the Senate like Ojiso Kalu. They will not become deputy speaker and be jumping up, which is a disgrace. They cannot be supervising their oil in their father's land. They turn to security where other people are taking it. That is what we are talking about. So they will not be talking about every month everybody should go to Abuja and hold his plate and wait until they give you a cup of rice and you come back. The Igbo man is going there. The Yoruba man is going there. The Middle Belt man is going there. So, because they heard it, that was what Gowon wanted. Now everybody is turning to Abuja. If you don't go to Abuja, how will you survive? That is the strategy I'm talking about. That is called political conquest. And that is why you can see among all the killings up and down, the Eastern governors are not saying anything. All they are saying that Nnamdi Kanu must surrender to death, conquest. But 200 million resistance is coming. Yes. Watch. The world will celebrate Biafra soon. Not celebrate, you know, I want to celebrate the president of Namibia for that signal about Biafra. And I can tell you, it is going to come. And the center will not hold. The question I want to ask, is there anything Nigeria can offer Biafrans that Biafrans cannot offer themselves? Mention one thing that Nigeria will offer Biafrans and Biafrans cannot be able to offer themselves. So the whole thing is centered on the Biafran land. Nigeria is working today because of Biafra. Nigeria is working today because of crude oil. Nigeria is in unity, the so-called unity, because of crude oil. But unfortunately, they have infiltrated the eastern region, created South, created Ogoni, created the Ndoki, created this one, and they are destroying our land. That is absolutely unacceptable. There's nothing Nigeria can offer Biafrans that Biafrans cannot achieve. I've not seen one. Other than electricity, they don't have it. Education, zero. The military has been balkanized. The police are running away. No, the youth are not joining the military intelligence again. So what is the end? What is the excess of becoming part of this entity that killed 200 people in Benue? And the presidency is still sitting, throwing our border up and down without even visiting the venue of that massacre. The Igbo people cannot be part of this kind of arrangement. And I can tell you. And that is why 85 million people are backing Nnamdi Kanu today. Thank you.
So guys, welcome to another session of Nnamdi Kanu's trial case. And in case you don't know, in this channel, we bring you all updates concerning Nnamdi Kanu and his court trial. And you wouldn't believe what actually happened in the last sitting of Nnamdi Kanu in the Supreme Court. What actually happened in that court shocked many. And indeed, it shocked me because what happened, no one has ever seen this particular event before. What Justice Omotosho, the man you can see at the right top hand of your screen, did, everyone, including the journalists that were present in the courts, were surprised. And this left everyone in total questioning, asking and murmuring why this particular decision was made. Well, in this particular video, I'll be bringing you all evidence and I'll be showing you everything you need to know about what Justice Omotosho did. And without wasting much of your time, we'll be heading straight to business and straight to what he actually did. Now, for clarity's sake, I'll be putting up the write-up on the screen so you can follow every bit of this particular event. Now, I start. Part of the proceedings of the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja was on Friday, following trial of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra. This is the first paragraph. And in case you don't understand this particular paragraph, Justice Omotosho moved the trial of Nnamdi Kanu to the DSS headquarters, something that has never happened before in Nigeria. Why is it that when it comes to Nnamdi Kanu's case, things are always turned upside down? Let's not forget that the witness that they brought in court to testify against Nnamdi Kanu is a DSS agent. And what the witness testify is that Nnamdi Kanu sent him to kill over 2,000 people, but he succeeded in killing only 30 people. This was a blatant lie. Without wasting much of your time, let's continue. The decision of the courts to conduct the proceeding in the DSS headquarters was informed by an oral application by the federal government's lawyer, Adeboyega Awomolu, SAN, before Justice James Omotosho. Now you can see the game that the federal government, led by Bola Tinubu and Justice Omotosho, are trying to play against Nnamdi Kanu. They are trying to play the game in the DSS headquarters and the DSS facility, because if they play in the general court, which is the Supreme Court, many people will see the injustice that is going on. Now they decided to move part of the trial to the DSS facilities, which is against the Nigerian law. I continue. The news agency of Nigeria, NAN, reports that Awomolo had prayed the courts to inspect the radio transmitter and a 20-foot container allegedly used by Kanu to convey it into the country from London without relevant customs documentations, while applying to tender them as evidence. In case you don't know who Awomolo is the SAN, the son representing the federal government in the Federal High Court. And you can see that they have paid Awomolo to work against Nnamdi Kanu. And he was the one who prayed to the courts. And Omotosho agreed that they should move the particular case to the DSS facility where they will be able to deal with Nnamdi Kanu. This is injustice, and the injustice that is happening against Nnamdi Kanu, the UN should come to the rescue of Nnamdi Kanu, because what's happening in the Nigerian judicial system is nothing to write home about. How can you move a case which is being tried in the Federal High Court to the DSS facility just because you want to inspect a 20-foot container? What is in the 20-foot container? Awomolo is trying to tell and convince Omotosho that everything that should be done now should be done in the DSS facility instead of the Federal High Court. In the last sitting, the trial started in the Supreme High Court, but Awomolo prayed to Justice Omotosho, who later agreed that this particular case should be moved to the DSS facility, which is against the Nigerian law. Let's wrap this up. The lawyer said the two items were kept in the DSS facility. Now, the two items they're referring to is the Biafra transmitter and the 20-foot container. Awomolo made the application midway into the testimony of the fourth prosecution witness, PW4, who, among others, testified about how the transmitter and the container were recovered in a premises in Ubulu, Isuzo in Ihiala local government area of Anambra. The lawyer told the court that it was impossible for the prosecution to bring the transmitter and the container to the court premises. Now you want to try Nnamdi Kanu and you are telling Justice Omotosho that it is impossible to bring the transmitter to the courts. How is this possible? How on earth is this possible? Finally, he therefore urged the courts to relocate to where they are kept for the purpose of citing and for the prosecution to tender them appropriately. The witness they brought to court is a DSS agent, and now they want to try Nnamdi Kanu's case in the DSS facility. Where has this been done? Well, at this point in time, we all have to pray for Nnamdi Kanu because what he's enjoying in the hands of the federal government is nothing to write home about. Tell me what you feel about this particular case in the comment section below. And if you have any suggestion or opinion, you can drop them in the comment section below.